Hey guys, Mum Bean here, coming to you with my very first video update about my vertical sleeve gastrectomy that I had on the 18th of March with Mr. McHenry and Mr. Gilhome in Knox Private Hospital in Victoria. I'm really nervous about making this update. I wasn't going to do it. I had my surgery on the 18th of March and it is now the 1st of April. So I'm a little bit slow on the uptake with the videos. I've been watching lots of videos, watching lots of other people share their journeys and share all their amazing achievements. And I wanted to do the same, but I wasn't sure whether or not I would post it on YouTube or not. I've decided that I will, and hopefully it goes well. So I will put all of my stats and everything at the bottom of the video because it's been a while since this whole journey started and there's lots of stats, so I will just put them all down the bottom. But I will say that in my first week after surgery, I lost 5 kilos even, and then this second week just gone, I lost 2.3 kilograms. I'm not sure what that is in pounds. I'll put that down the bottom as well. I suppose because this is my first video, I should talk about why I wanted to get the surgery in the first place. Lots of reasons. I'm sure that they're the same reasons as everybody else has about getting the surgery, about trying to be healthier and happier and trying to be the person that I feel like I am inside, but obviously I'm not on the outside. So this is a step in the right direction. And, you know, everybody talks about the sleeve being a tool and it's not a fix-all. And you know, I think we all know that. But it's another tool in our belt of things that can help us be the healthier version of ourselves. So why not? It was a big decision. It took me a really long time to come to grips with the fact that I wasn't going to be able to do it by myself. I always thought that, you know, eventually something would click or something, you know, just a switch would flip and then all of a sudden I'd be, you know, be able to do it on my own. But as time went on, that never happened. And so I thought this was probably going to be definitely not the easiest way, and oh my god, it is not the easy way. But I thought it would be the quickest way to get me to the healthiest version of myself. So that's why I wanted to do the surgery. I mean, there's a million other reasons, but that's probably the biggest one, that I wanted to live the rest of my life being the healthiest person I could be. So surgery went, I've just got some notes down here. Surgery went really well. I ended up in hospital for about 5 days and that was all fine. It wasn't until the last day that I threw up, so that was great. I got crazy and washed my hair in the shower, and apparently that was overdoing it, so I ended up being sick. I got home and my lovely friend Tina was here to look after me, so she came to stay for a little while, and that was really good. The first week of just liquids was fine. I've not had any issues with getting all of my liquids in. I mean, I know it differs from surgery to surgery, but my surgeon and dietitian say to get around 12 to 1500 mils of water a day, or liquid a day, and I've been hitting that pretty consistently, so that hasn't been an issue at all. I started off on, you know, broth and soup and juice and water and all of that, and some milk sometimes. I had a really tough time doing the Opti in the 2 weeks. My body didn't like that very much and I was vomiting on a daily basis. In the end, I really just didn't want to eat at all, and there were days I didn't eat anything or have any shakes or anything because I just didn't want to vomit. As I really don't like vomiting. I mean, who does? But I really dislike it. So my dietitian put me on an alternative plan that didn't include the Opti, and that went a lot better. I know that's not for everybody, but that's what happened to me. So anyway, first week of liquids has been, what did go pretty well. Purees was really exciting because you get to have a bit of a different menu. So I was excited to have mashed potato and gravy, and I pureed up. One of my fears going into this, I mean, it's really irrational and silly, but I love Indian food. It is my absolute favourite cuisine, and I had these really big fears that I'd never be able to eat Indian food again, which is ridiculous, but I mean, I was really worried because I really love it. And so as soon as I got onto purees, I went and got some butter chicken from my favourite Indian restaurant here and pureed it all up, so it was like really smooth and creamy, and it was just like a sauce, and it was so delicious. I was so happy that I could have it and keep it down, and it was all fine. And it lasted me so long, I can't believe. I think it lasted me for 5 meals. It is ridiculous. It depends on what I eat as to how much I can fit in. Sometimes it's like maybe a quarter of a cup, and then sometimes can be closer to half a cup depending on what it is. Protein tends to fill me up pretty quickly, so that usually is around a quarter of a cup. So really, food-wise, I haven't had any issues at all. Like, I feel like I'm really lucky in that respect, that I haven't had any problems or any foods that haven't gone down well or that haven't affected me, which I know a lot of people do. So I won't harp on about it in case you're one of those people. I'm really sorry. But yeah, no problems with food or anything like that. The only problems I am having is getting my tablets down in the morning. I'm not sure if it's because my system hasn't booted up yet, or I don't know. It differs from morning to morning, but some mornings I can take my tablets. So I take 1, 2, 3, 4, at the moment 4 tablets in the morning, 2 that I was taking prior to surgery, and now an extra 2 after surgery. And some mornings I can take them and they'll be fine, and then other mornings I'll take them and throw them up instantly. It's I can never pick it, and I don't do anything different in the mornings. I have started cutting my multivitamin in half because initially I thought that's what was causing the problem, but then I have had other times where it wasn't that, so I don't know. Yes, but that's been the only really big problem. So hopefully that doesn't continue because, as I said, don't like vomiting. There are a lot of people, or a lot of videos I've watched on here, people have talked about how, they've shared the fact that they're getting this surgery, and the lucky ones have had, really supportive people around them and really encouraged them and have been quite, encouraging of the steps. I didn't tell anyone at all for a long time, for a really long time. I wasn't going to tell anybody. I wasn't even going to tell my parents, and my parents are extremely supportive of me in everything that I do, and I'm very close with my parents, but I didn't want to tell people because of all the horror stories you hear about, how people really get onto you about it being, the easy way out. You've taken the easy way out. And I'm like, dude, it's not the easy way out. It's the last resort way out. It's either this or living the rest of my life unhappy and, unhealthy. And, I'm lucky in a way that at the moment I'm young enough that I didn't have any comorbidities with this. I don't have diabetes, I don't have cholesterol, I don't have high blood pressure yet. But that would have definitely changed had I not had this surgery now. So, I'm only 29. In the scheme of things, that's pretty young. So I've actually lost track of what I was telling you. Oh, yeah, why I didn't tell people. Yeah, so I have this really, it's not irrational because I've lived with it my entire life, but, I have a lot of anxiety. And, I've been dealing with depression for most of my life. And it's just that whole thing about being judged and people judging you for the choices that you make and the decisions that you make. And it's taken me a really long time, to get to the point where now I'm comfortable making decisions about me and my life and putting me first instead of putting the thoughts and feelings and opinions of other people before myself, which is really new to me and a really strange concept. I'm sure that I'm not the only one out there that can relate to that. So I just didn't want to deal with the attention, or didn't want to deal with the questions, or it's funny, being overweight in some ways keeps you invisible, keeps you from having to let anybody be close or share things with other people, because people just automatically make these assumptions about you that are not true. And it's easier to live up to those assumptions than to let somebody see who you really are inside. And, that's even harder when you don't even like the person inside anyway. So it's easier just to live up to what people think about you anyway. I don't know if that makes sense, but so being the fat kid, it was easy to just be invisible because that's all you were. That's all you had to live up to anyway. Anyway, I'm rambling. That'll probably do for my first video because it's almost at 13 minutes and that's a bit ridiculous. Hopefully I will be making weekly updates. Fingers crossed. Depends how this goes. Depends how anxious I get about it and maybe take it down. I don't know. But if you've made it this far, thank you for listening. And hopefully I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.